Hi everyone, Jeff from Evolve Acupuncture Training and Evolve Natural Medicine here. And today we're going to be looking at the basic 7 systems of the Master Tung Acupuncture. Also used by Dr. Tan. He uses 6 systems a little bit differently, but essentially the same sort of principles. And one of the things that I've noticed when we're looking at particularly Tung Acupuncture, because there's a whole series of new points to understand, what quite often practitioners get caught up in is remembering that the particular issue, symptoms that a point treats without understanding why. And what we're looking at with these 7 systems is it's helping us to understand why. So it means that rather than having to remember all the symptoms that a point will treat, all the issues that a point will treat, you can actually start to break it down by understanding the 7 systems. So it's a lot faster, a lot simpler. And when you're starting out, a much simpler way of actually engaging with this process without becoming overwhelmed. And so what we're looking at is, in this table, we've got the symptom channel. So if we're looking at, say, someone's got a pectoral issue, quite often we might find it's something like the lung channel. Could also be the colon or large intestine, or alternatively, there might be the pericardium involved. But let's say, for instance, we're looking in this case that it's the lung channel. Then a way of balancing that, or helping to remove that sort of disease in that channel, we can use the spleen channel in system 1. We can use the bladder channel in system 2. We can use the colon or the large intestine channel in system 3. I learnt colon instead of large intestine, so I use both. I find colons easier. And so when we're looking at system 4, we can use the bladder channel. When we're looking at system 5, the liver. System 6, the same channel, the lung will balance the lung. And also system 7, the stomach will balance the lung. So we're going to go through each of these systems to help you understand it a little bit better. So what we're looking at, system 1, essentially it's the same name channel connection, and we balance between the hand and the foot. So we go almost like opposites. So if we look at the symptom channel here in the first one, the lung channel, it's Tai Yin hand, and it will be balanced by Tai Yin foot, which is the spleen. When we're looking at the colon channel, large intestine, Yang Ming hand will be balanced by Yang Ming foot. When we're looking at the stomach channel, again, it's basically reverse. And so what you find with this table is there's a lot of double up. When we're looking at things like Xiao Yin, again, heart Xiao Yin, hand Xiao Yin will be balanced by kidney foot Xiao Yin. Small intestine, hand Tai Yang will be balanced by bladder foot Tai Yang. And when we go down to Zhui Yin, pericardium Zhui Yin will be balanced by liver, foot Zhui Yin. Xiao Yang, San Jiao, hand Xiao Yang, is balanced by foot Xiao Yang. So once you get a little bit of a handle on this, it's actually not that hard, but it does take a little bit of time, and that's why we're doing this video, to help you. If you're looking at doing some Tung or Tan training, or you're looking at doing any training with us, then this is the foundation of what we use in the process. All right, when we're looking at system 2, we're looking at the internal, external, same name, yin to yang, hand to foot. So if we look at in terms of internal, external, same name, so we're looking at Tai. So in the case of this first one, lung Tai Yin, bladder foot Tai Yang. So we're looking at the internal, external, same name. So Tai, being Tai, we're going same name. We're going yin to yang. So lung is yin, bladder is yang. And we go from lung is hand, bladder is foot. So you can see there again, internal, external, same name. Tai is the first one. Yin and yang. So Tai Yin goes to Tai Yang. We go from hand to foot. So foot Tai Yin goes to foot Tai Yang. And we do the same thing. Xiao balances Xiao, Yang balances Yang. So Tai Yin, Tai Yang, Xiao Yin, Xiao Yang. Yang Ming is balanced by Zhui Yin. And it works through like that. So when we're looking at system 3, so system 2, just to give you a rundown again, lung hand Tai Yin balances bladder foot Tai Yang. Colon or large intestine hand Yang Ming balances liver, foot Dui Yin. So remember, Yang Ming is balanced by Dui Yin. When we're looking at stomach, foot, Yang Ming, again, we're balancing it with the Dui Yin. These are the only two that are a little bit different. So stomach, foot, Yang Ming balances pericardium, hand, Dui Yin. Spleen, foot, Tai Yin is balanced by small intestine, hand, Tai, Yang. So foot to hand, Tai to Tai, Yin to Yang. When we're looking at heart, hand, Shao, Yin, we go hand to foot, we go Shao to Shao, we go Yin to Yang. So heart, hand, Shao, Yin balances gallbladder, foot, Shao, Yang. And when we're looking at small intestine, hand, Tai, Yang, it will be balanced by spleen, foot, Tai, Yin. So hand goes to foot, Tai goes to Tai, Yang goes to Yin. So once it's important to go over these a few times because it does take a little bit to get your head around initially, but once you get the basics, it really comes fast. All right, so system 3, pretty simple one. Essentially, it's just the element partner. So if we're looking here in the first one, lung is a metal element. The metal element balancer is the colon or the large intestine. So pretty straightforward. Metal, lung to colon. When we're looking at earth, we go from stomach to spleen. When we're looking, and they cross balance. So colon balances lung, lung balances colon. Spleen balances stomach, stomach balances spleen. Small intestine balances heart, heart balances small intestine. So they cross over, so it's reversible. When we're looking at water, pretty obvious, bladder and kidney. We're looking at what I call fire 2, is pericardium and sanjiao. And then we're looking at wood, liver and gallbladder. So pretty straightforward element partner. System 3, not a hard one to get your head around. System 4, again, probably not as hard to get your head around, but we need to be able to remember the opposite, the clock, to be able to work it out. And so what I found for me is I just gradually started to learn these by rote. And you know what I was taught early in the piece is the best way to learn these is to write this table out every single day until you know it back to front. So when we're looking at the opposite clock, we're looking at this situation. So essentially, if we're looking at, say, the lung channel, which is in that first section, will be balanced by the bladder channel, which is the opposite. So 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. is Tai Yin, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. is Tai Yang bladder. And so that's how it's balanced. If we go to colon, large intestine, 5 to 7 a.m. Yang Ming is balanced by 5 to 7 p.m. kidney Shao Yin. Again, we move to stomach, 7 a.m. is Yang Ming, is balanced by Dui Yin, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So again, once you get your head around it, not too hard. The next system essentially is remembering the clock again. So we're looking at clock neighbors, but we're balancing the yin aspect. So when we're looking at, say, lung, it is going to be balanced by what's next to it, but it is the same polarity. So lung, it's not balanced by large intestine in this system. It is elsewhere, but it's going to be balanced by the liver. And if we're looking at the large intestine or the colon, it will be balanced in this system by the stomach. When we're looking at the spleen, again in this system, it will be balanced by its clock neighbor, which is the heart. So again, once you get this, not too hard. System 6, pretty simple. It's essentially the same channel. So lung treats lung, colon treats colon, or large intestine treats large intestine, stomach treats stomach, spleen treats spleen. So not too hard. I don't need to go through this too much. So the last system we have is system 7, and it's a little bit more complicated than the others. And so I find the easiest way to do this is through a two-step process. So what we're looking at is, first step is the element partner. So when we're looking at the lung, the element partner is the colon or large intestine. And then we go to the same name channel. So colon is hand Yang Ming, and then we go to stomach, which is foot Yang Ming. So essentially what we're looking at here is the lung channel is balanced by the stomach channel, and also the lung channel, as I said before, these are reversible, is also balanced, but also balances the stomach channel. When we look at the next step down, the colon or large intestine, hand yang ming, the element partner is lung, metal element. And so we've got lung hand tai yin is balanced by spleen foot tai yin. Moving down further, we've got hand heart shao yin, which is the fire element. So the fire element is obviously the small intestine, hand tai yang. So hand tai yang being in the foot is bladder foot tai yang. We move down again to the small intestine, hand tai yang, balanced by the heart in its element partner. And then we look at, because it's shao yin, the heart is going to be balanced by shao yin. So the small intestine is going to be balanced by the kidney foot shao yin. The next one is the pericardium, hand jue yin. Its element partner is the sanjiao, hand shao yang. And because we're going from shao yang to shao yang, then obviously that becomes the gallbladder. So the pericardium is therefore balanced by the gallbladder, and the gallbladder can be balanced by the pericardium. If we look at the sanjiao, hand shao yang, again, it's the fire 2 is what I call it. Pericardium is the other meridian in that element. Hand jue yin, then jue yin obviously then has to go to the liver foot jue yin. So that means that the sanjiao, hand shao yang is balanced by the liver foot jue yin, and the liver foot jue yin is balanced by the sanjiao, hand shao yang. So generally, the best approach that I've come across, that it was advised to me early in the piece when I did Dr. Tan the very first time, is to go through this whole 7-system channel and to write them out every day. So gradually over time, you begin to become more familiar with it, and it becomes second nature. So certainly the hardest systems to remember are system 4, the opposite clock, remembering which is going to be the opposite, and also system 7, because you've got that extra jump you need to take. But over time, eventually you get to the point where you don't have to think this through. It just becomes second nature. And the best way, as I said, to do that is to write it out every day. Generally, I found for me, I think from memory, it took me about 3 months of writing it out every day before I had it really nailed down and I didn't have to think about it at all. So again, this is a great little foundational video to help you understand the base line of the systems of any type of distal acupuncture, Tan, Tung. I know there's a few others out there that lend from these 2 systems, and really useful to understand this before you go into any seminar that is using these systems, because it just means it's a little bit quicker for you to be able to understand what's going on. So thanks very much for taking the time to watch this video. Hope it's been useful. Again, Jeff from Evolve Acupuncture Training and Evolve Natural Medicine, my clinic in Newcastle. Look forward to catching up with you soon. Thank you. Have a great day.